Shabbat Shalom, brethren. Hello, today I just wanted to bring forth a presentation about names and how important they are. When we first came into knowing that the Father and the Son's name had been concealed from us, and we learned them, and then we learned about each letter of that name having meaning, the name itself being broken down had meaning, and there was meaning upon meaning upon meaning, and we found out how wonderful it was. We were astounded that we could have ever been so deceived before. So today I want to bring forth and say, then why did we stop there? Because one of the things I know that when I talk to people and we talked about the name being important, we said, well, isn't your name important to you? If your name was Larry and everybody called you Richard, or your name was Susan and everybody called you Anna, eventually there'd be no relationship. If you keep telling them that's not my name, that's not my name. So we understood that names are important to us. How much more so of a name that reveals the character of our Father and of the Mashiach, YAHUAH and Yahusha HaMashiaac. So we understand this, and we've used that very reasoning and rationale for why the names are so important. But why did we stop there? Because I'm here to tell you there is nobody named Matthew or Mark or Luke or John or Peter or Paul or any of the other multiple names that they replaced their names with. You got to remember, transliteration is carrying over from the sounds in one language into the sounds of another. That's transliteration. So the Yod He Wah Shin Ayin, Yahusha in Hebrew, carries over into Yahusha in English because that is the transliteration. The translation of that name would be YAHUAH is our deliverer, or I am he who delivers. So we would understand that that's the translation of the name. The translation of the name does not start with a J and then with an S. That's not a translation, that's a replacement. Shaul himself was not Paul. We know Kepha was renamed Peter because they put the statue of Jupiter, and it was a U, a Y-U, not a J at that time, into the Vatican and called it Jupiter, and over time it became Jupiter, and then slowly they dropped off the U. This is historical evidence even within the Vatican's own writing, so we know that it became Peter because they were kissing and worshiping the statue of Jupiter. So that's why they renamed Kapha Jupiter, or Peter for short, because they wanted them worshiping somebody else, somebody different. So names are important, and the name Matithyahu is not Matthew. It's Matithyahu. That's English. It's Matithyahu, but we got to remember to speak the name, the ineffable name of YAHUAH in any of its forms outside of their temples. They were teaching the oral law, the Talmudic law, the Babylonian law. They were teaching that. So they were quite literally saying anything that had his name. That's why they changed Yahusha to Yeshua. Not to mention it's written in the Talmud. By the way, I have all the volumes of that as well. So I have these as well. So we understand this is just one. I have a whole box down there. We understand why they changed that name and what that means. And it is a blasphemous name that they gave him. But the biggest reason they gave him that name is because the Father's name was in him. Yes, the Father's name was in him. His name is YAHUAH, Junior, the Son. And Yahusha is telling you about his character. That it is YAHUAH, the Son, that is delivering, but YAHUAH, the Father, who has sent him, who has brought him forth for that purpose. So all names have meaning. Your name means something to you, even if you don't know the actual meaning of your name. So why are we still using these pagan names, these changeovers, if you will, these replacement names? They're not their names. And they take away from your understanding of the character. Let's look and see what some of these names mean, because believe it or not, they're quite wonderful. When you go, oh, wow. Iran means watcher. Erek means to prolong. Let's look at some of the names you're going to be more familiar with. Okay. Let's look up YAHUAH. That's a name you'll be very familiar with. And it has a wonder gift of YAHUAH. Matthew doesn't mean that. Yahu means gift of YAHUAH. Why would we change it? Marcos means defense. Now we understand that that was also a nickname they gave him, Marcos. But even still, we understand his name had meaning. Let's look at some other names. Gives you an idea, even though, and this one's kind of close, even they kept it kind of close, but they've hidden the meaning. Yahu, servant of Yahu. And when you go in to look at what that means and what the Nabi that he brought forth and the Nabi'im that he gave to YAHUAH, you get an idea. Yohanan. Yes, I said Yohanan, not Yohanan. The CH sound is a Yiddish, was brought over from Eastern Bloc countries, some Germanic tribes, regional dialects. The CH came to be used as a kof, as a K sound. It's not. The CH was to kind of give you an indication of a guttural sound on the H. Yohanan, not Yochanan or Yochanan. It's Yohanan. It's a guttural sound of the H, and that's all it was. There is no kanak, it's hanak. It's a guttural sound in the back of the throat. And that was to be an indication of that. But again, we were talking about people who came from all over the world to come back in the land, and they had regional dialects. Polish had Polish dialects, and Germans, and people who spoke all these languages in which they had been basically exiled for all this time. They had their regional dialects, and some of these words were harder for them to say. If you go to Japan, there are certain letters you certainly know that they cannot say easily. The L sound is a very difficult sound, just because they're not used to it. It's not in the vernacular. It's not in their alphabet or their alphabet. So it's a sound that they have to get used to forming their mouth around and making that sound. We're fortunate because we speak a language that is derived from multiple languages, from the French to the Gaelic to Hebrew to Latin and Greek and Anglo-Saxon, of course. It is just a variation of multiple languages combined, so it makes it a lot easier for us to say words. So for those of you who say that I speak English, no, you don't. You speak Anglo-Saxon, and you speak multiple languages. I mean, resume still is a French word. Foyer, not derived from any pure language. We don't speak a pure language. It's a babbling tongue. So let's stop using that as an excuse as to why I don't want to say the name Jesus or Jesus. That name is not the name that was derived from any English source. It derived from other sources. So to say that that's his name, God itself was a Babylonian name, and it meant deity of fortune or fortune, and it was given. Leah gave it to Jacob's son. We changed the name of Jacob, and later in the Brit, they changed it over to Yames or James, later to become James. His name is Jacob. Why? That's not even close. I mean, obviously, not even near what his name really is. So why are we doing this? Why are we still so hard-hearted and closed-minded about this? We'll fight for our name to be used. We'll even use it for why you should use the Father and the Sons. Yet when we talk about all of the Nabi and the Nabi'im that they brought forth, and we talk about all of the sovereigns of old and the people of Yah in their names, we're missing out on something wonderful. When we look at their names, we are missing out on what it really means and what it really says. And why? I mean, why? Kifa, a stone. And Yahusha never said upon him he was going to build his church. He never said that. It was upon Yahusha. He was the rock of the foundation. It was upon him that he was building the entire foundation of this. So I implore you, brethren, look at the names, look up the names. They're not hard to find. HalleluYAH Scriptures will send you a free book on them. There are multiple other sources online. You can just pull them up. And all of the names, HalleluYAH HaRuach, Eliyahu, he's got them. I mean, there's multiple sources out there. So I would implore you, brethren, use them. This is a great little resource. There's many, 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 many other. And I wouldn't say it's the only resource I use, but it's a wonderful resource. So I implore you, start using their names. They're important. They mean something. They show you something about the work Yah is doing in them. The name Yahuwah was putting, or Yah was put on the end of these names for a purpose. The reason was because Yah was doing something in them and with them. And it gives you an idea of what their character is, and it gives you an idea of what they were about. And it means so much more. And you wouldn't want somebody to just change your name to something and say, oh, but I speak this language or that language. And in my language, I would say this. No, your name is your name, no matter where you go. My name is Eric. Eric in French, Eric in Portuguese. It's Eric in Swahili. It's Eric in Chinese and Japanese and Taiwanese. It's Eric in Polish, and it's Eric in German, and it's Eric in English, and it's Eric everywhere you go. It's Eric. So is your name. Your name is whatever your name is, everywhere you go. Translation of my name, according to Norse and some of the older things, it means guardian of the gates, my full name. So understand that your name translated would be what your name literally means. It wouldn't be changing your name. It's changing your name. Let's not change your names. Let's start keeping your names. Let's start saying your name, but learn their names first and understand what it says about them, and then read what is being said in the writings under that name. Kind of gives you a better idea. When you read Obadiah and some of the others, Malachi and all the rest of them, and you understand what their name means, then the Nabiim that they brought forth means so much more. It actually goes, you go, oh wow, okay, I understand why he's named that. Same with Matityahu, same with Marcos, same with Lucas, same with Kefa, same with all of them. You get a fuller understanding of who they were and what Yah was doing in them. So names are important. They're important to our Father, important to His Son. They're important to everybody. If it's important to you, don't you think it's important to Shaul, who not remain Paul? I do. It's up to you. I'm just bringing this forth as a quick Shabbat Shalom, a presentation today, something to think upon, maybe something to study. Anyways, have a great day. We love you. Hallelujah. Praise Yah. Remember, always love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart, with all your being in the flesh and all that is within you. And love your brother, your neighbor, as you love yourself. And in these two things, you will, out of love and obedience, keep all that He has commanded you this day, and all that He has brought forth with His right rulings and His judgments. They're honorable, they're righteous, and they're wonderful. Shalom, and we'll see you soon.